Thunder taking on the Los Angeles Lakers here, second game of this mini-series at Paycom Center, and it's a final home game at Paycom Center this year. I've got Chet Holmgren with me, and Chet, it's been quite a year here at home at Paycom. You've got incredible fans that support you all. What does this mean to kind of send them out and have the opportunity to know that you're going to welcome them back here in a couple weeks?
It's amazing. It's amazing having fans that show up every night like they do, and just to know that it gets even better than what this regular season has been is, it's a blessing. Not every team has that, and we appreciate them for that.
You've got some massive work ahead of you, though, in the 48 minutes coming up against the Lakers. What did you see in the game on Sunday that you really want to tackle and you view as maybe like an opportunity here tonight?
I think we could just be more disciplined in our coverages and in our individual defense, clean some things up, and then I think we can play with some more pace, more energy, and get out there and make it a tough game for them.
There's been a standard that you guys have held yourselves to regardless of the opponent. There may be some guys missing from the lineup for them tonight, but as you attack that standard, what does that look like internally in huddles and at halftime when you're trying to maybe almost play against yourselves as much as the opponent?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you don't control circumstances, but you can control your own attention. You can control your own energy. You can control your own effort, and that's what we've tried to do all year. There's so many things that are out of your control. It's really relieving to just be able to focus on what you can control and try to improve through that.
You talked earlier in the year about the amount of time you were able to put into your shot while you were out. We saw the benefits of that on Friday down in Houston, blistering hot, career-high night from behind the arc, and continuing again to be able to just knock down shots from behind the line. How critical of a skill is that for you moving forward in this season as you guys are attacking some of these high-leverage games?
Yeah, it's not only critical for me, but I think it's critical for our team. At the end of the day, having shooting gravity is really important. It opens things up it opens other things up not only for yourself but for the rest of the team as well. When other teams have to respect you farther out on the floor. So just got to continue to work on that, continue to find more ways to get to that, in a way that is a winning play for our team, and continue to grow and get better at it.
You seem like a person to me that just loves embracing a challenge. When something's put in front of you, you love attacking it. We've seen you dominate as sort of that rim-protecting center. You have had some opportunities to guard more on the perimeter, too. How much do you relish those opportunities?
I'd say no matter what I'm asked to do to try and help the team win, I always take pride in feeling that I'm either able to do that or able to improve to the point where that is, a winning strategy for us. And at the end of the day, this is either a do or don't league. And if you don't get the job done, you're not going to get put in that situation, because it's about building trust not only with your coaches and teammates that you can, execute what you're asked to do. So at the end of the day, it's really important to go out there and, this league has shown for a long time that things usually aren't perfect on day one. It's all about improvement. It's just about having the urgency to do it as fast as possible.
That's the mindset that's gotten you to this point and gotten this team to such a great record this season. Chet, thank you very much for your time. Good luck out there tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Nick.
That's Chet Holmgren. I'm Nick Gallo, and this is Thunder Basketball.
Alex, when you're going up against the same team like you are today, what's kind of top of mind knowing that, they're going to make adjustments, you guys will probably make adjustments as well? What's kind of top of mind going into that sort of matchup?
Yeah, just trying to fine-tune, especially, it's kind of reverse, I think, on these kind of scenarios during the year. We usually have won the first one, and it's been more like fighting human nature to not kind of let off a little. So on the reverse side of that, just sharpening the blade of how we want to play and how maybe we want to go about guarding a team a certain way. So that'd be good for us just to have a new experience with that tonight.
It felt like there were so many different guys that you guys could put on LeBron. Like you spent time on LeBron. You saw like Lou, obviously, Kenrich, J-Dub. What does that say about this group and the defense overall that you have so many different guys that can obviously make an impact on a guy like that?
Yeah, it's a real luxury just to be able to toy with different lineups, different matchups, different schemes. A lot of times in the NBA you get one or two hands to show, and that's kind of what you're limited to. Luckily for us, I think we kind of have an unlimited bag per se in that side of the ball, just to be able to put different guys on different players that switch coverage, blitz attack, like just a whole bunch of different stuff that we can go to. It's a real luxury.
Does it change at all depending on, because they may sit some guys, got Dallas tomorrow night, does that change anything what you guys do tonight?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. I think one of the best things about our team this year is we've played to a certain standard, and we've been fighting that a lot lately just because, like I said earlier, the human nature effect is real. We've had the 1 seed locked up for a couple of weeks now, and obviously the biggest thing is you don't want to form bad habits, especially this time of year. Just we've been so good all year long, so I think it's really more about us locking in the stuff that we want to be great at going into postseason play.
You had mentioned just the sheer volume of things that you guys can do defensively. Anything that you feel like, okay, you can really use these last games of the season to sharpen with any of those coverages in particular?
Yeah, I mean, we get to experiment. Like, that's the luxury of being in first place and having that solidified. I think I saw somewhere yesterday there's 19 postseason spots still to be decided. A couple of those are a little more certain than others, but for the most part, a lot of guys are they're having to throw their best pitch, best 2 pitches nightly just to get to a spot that they want to be in this time of year. And for us, we've played so well all year and put in the work that we're able to kind of, I don't want to say toy around because it makes it sound like we're not taking it serious, but just experiment a little and find different ways to maybe, add a 5th, 6th pitch into our arsenal going into the postseason.
You guys switched and doubled a lot the other day. JJ Redick was saying, though, that he really admires that if you guys want to stay locked on a matchup, you just do it. I mean, there's no debating about that. You guys just do it. How rare is that in your experience around the NBA for a team to really have that game plan discipline and actually be able to stay locked on a matchup the way that you guys are able to?
Yeah, I think it goes back to just having confidence in the players that we have on the team, whether it's Lou, Kaysen, me, Dub, Hart on bigs, Chet on bigs, Jay Will. Like, we got a number of guys that we can throw in one-on-one matchups and feel pretty confident with them making life hell for them for the night, and then everyone be behind them and support them. So just learning that process through the year. I think everybody on paper saw it early in the year that we had a bunch of good pieces, but to gain that confidence, I think, through the year and see the matchups, it's really beneficial for us.
Do you expect, or you've been through this a lot, with so few games left, you got your seed locked up for a long time, resting players, cutting back minutes, how do you think the coach will handle that kind of situation?
Well, the only team that's been good enough to do that was the year we had COVID, so we got 3 months of rest going into it. The rest of the year is in Chicago, maybe besides the last 1 or 2 games the first year. We knew we were the 6th seed. We were playing, but yeah, I mean, it's something for coach to navigate. Obviously, you want to be healthy, and you want to use the locked up seed like we said to our advantage and get some extra rest, but also there's a balance of keeping rhythm and keeping that that mental sharp, making sure that you're locked in, so when game 1 comes, we'll be ready, just because the 8th seed will have already played 2 games before we have played, so they will already be mentally in a space of postseason play. So for us, that'll be the challenge, just to make sure we stay sharp if we do go that route.
Kind of related to that, you guys are going to have a whole week off next week. Have you guys kind of discussed, I guess, the pros and cons of that, and what do you just think of that?
Not too out loud. Obviously, we know what comes with it, just with, like I said, the time off, and the team that will play would have played 2 do-or-die games just coming into it, so they're going to obviously have that advantage of rhythm. But, I think that comes with the territory of being the 1 seed and having the best record in the league is, you get the time off. And luckily for them, they did it last year. I haven't had this luxury yet, but I think they have a pretty good plan. Coach hasn't really labeled that all the way out for us, but, I have pretty good trust, and they know what they're doing.
Do you pay attention at all of the teams that bottom, that play and stuff, who might be there, possible matchups, those kind of things?
Yeah, of course. mean, that's part of it too. Is like for 2 weeks I've been wondering. I mean, the teams have changed drastically. Like Memphis was the 4 seed, now they're the 8. You know, Kings go on the road and get a win at the Clippers last night, right?
They beat Detroit.
Detroit. Like Detroit's fighting for seeding. Kings are fighting to like all this matters, and for me it's fun just because this is the time of the year that I really enjoy. You know, NBA is fun in general, but at the end of the year you play for stuff, tangible stuff. So it's fun to watch, and obviously, you know, trying to keep a track on who we're going to play.